Motion pictures or videos are a sequence of consecutive pictures of objects photographed in motion to give the illusion of natural movement. Although motion pictures are mostly used for entertainment, when it was first used, it was used for research. The history of motion pictures explored a world invisible to the human eye, encountered issues and controversies like inappropriate behavior, foul language, and contentious topics, and exchanged ideas using movies and videos. In 1872, Leland Stanford, an American tycoon, politician, and co-founder of Stanford University, commissioned Edward Muybridge, an English-born photographer, to find the solution to a problem that would allow him to win $25,000. The bet was on whether or not a horse's hooves leave the ground all at the same time during full gallop. To prove Leland correct, Edward set up a row of 12 cameras that would go off when a horse galloped by. It took a few years to do due to bad quality pictures, faulty cameras, and other technical difficulties. When he successfully captured the movement of a horse's hooves, Stanford was proven correct and Muybridge had just made the first motion picture. Muybridge went on to capture the movements of many other animals. He wrote a book called Animals in Motion, which included pictures he took of various animals' movements. In 1881, Muybridge met a French scientist named Etienne Jules Méry. Méry was influenced by Muybridge because after the meeting, Méry began creating moving pictures to study movements of animals that are invisible to the human eye. One of his studies is named Méry's Animated Zoo. In this experiment, he filmed cats landing on their feet and discovered that dogs, bunnies, and some other animals also always land on their feet. To document his work, he wrote a book called Le Mouvement. Because of motion pictures, scientists like Muybridge and Méry explored a whole world invisible to the naked eye. Motion pictures are so easy to access and spread to the world, which allows people or groups with malicious intent to publicize threats and other malevolent content. This type of inappropriate behavior is a problem that motion pictures encounter. A recent example is the ISIS threat to the USA saying that they will strike America at its heart. The spine-chilling message was delivered by the top commander of the Islamic State. The video is a clear statement for other countries to stay away. Another example is when an American journalist, Steven Sotloff, was beheaded on camera for everyone to see during the summer of 2014. It sparked a controversy as to whether or not the video is real, but there is no doubt that it is. This proved to the world that ISIS needed to be dealt with, or else more innocent lives will be taken. Not only do motion pictures help people see the invisible, it helps them see the culture of other places in the world. For example, the movie Forrest Gump showed the whole world the culture of the United States. It is a very historically rich movie, for it shows Forrest, the main character, going through and taking part in every major event that happened in the 1960s through 1980s. It allows people from outside the US to be able to see the culture of the United States. Another movie that brought lots of attention is Philadelphia. The main character, who is a homosexual, finds out that he has contracted HIV. At the time of the movie's release, HIV was basically a death sentence, for it had no real treatment. At that time, a huge problem in the United States was discrimination and homophobia. Although many people knew that it was time for change, nobody really did anything to solve these problems. This movie was one of the first to address the situation and change the view on homosexuals and raised awareness for HIV.
Everybody in this courtroom is thinking about sexual orientation, sexual preference, whatever you want to call it. Who does what to whom and how they do it. I mean, they're looking at Andrew Beckett. They're thinking about it. They're looking at Mr. Wheeler, Miss Conine, even you, Your Honor. They're wondering about it. Trust me, I know that they are looking at me and thinking about it. So let's just get it out in the open. Let's get it out of the closet. Because this case is not just about AIDS, is it? So let's talk about what this case is really all about. The general public's hatred, our loathing, our fear of homosexuals. And how that climate of hatred and fear translated into the firing of this particular homosexual. My client, Andrew Beckett.
Not only is American culture exchanged through motion pictures, Korean pop culture has been very popular due to the music videos and Korean dramas. This rapid exchange in South Korean culture has been known as the Korean Wave. The Korean Wave started in the 1990s when Korean dramas began spreading to other places in the world. Korean culture was slowly gaining popularity when it spiked in 2012 due to the Gangnam Style music video by Psy. By the first day of its release, it had 500,000 views. By 2 months, it became the top iTunes song in 31 countries. Since then, it has become the most viewed video on YouTube with over 2.5 billion views. Since the world's population is roughly 7 billion, it means that for every 7 people, 2 of them have watched the Gangnam Style music video. Because of this surge of interest in Korean pop culture, there's been a 45% increase in students learning Korean as their second language in the past few years. Although motion pictures create controversies and issues involving violence or racism, there are way more positive traits like the exchange of culture around the world. The invention of motion pictures sparked innovation in the minds of great people who used the inventions to do research on many other subjects. Because of motion pictures, scientific research is explored, controversies and issues are encountered, and culture is exchanged.
My mom always said life was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.
Goodbye. Don't cry. The little choo-choo train that takes me away from you. You don't know just how sad it makes me. Kiss me, pretty.